The name itself is saying they are congenital, present in the lungs, lymph vessels which are dilated. So abnormally dilated lymph vessels in the pulmonary system is called as congenital pulmonary lymphangiectasias. Congenital pulmonary lymphangiectasias. The name itself is saying they are congenital, present in the lungs, lymph vessels which are dilated. So abnormally dilated lymph vessels in the pulmonary system is called as congenital pulmonary lymphangiectasias, sometimes written in short form as CPL. Now CPL can arise in three scenarios. So they tend to occur in children in three scenarios, right? The first scenario is whenever there is pulmonary venous obstruction. For example, any congenital heart disease. Any congenital heart disease where there is pulmonary venous obstruction, due to back pressure changes and due to pressure dynamics, the lymph vessels may get enlarged and dilated. So that is pulmonary venous obstruction. The second scenario where these lymphangiectasias can develop is as part of generalized lymphangiectasias. What it means is that there are lymphangiectasias present all over the body. They are present in the gut, they are present in the lungs, they are even present in the limbs. So when they occur as a part of generalized lymphangiectasia, remember that they are usually milder in nature. The pulmonary manifestations are milder, and it occurs in conditions like Noonan syndrome, Down syndrome, and sometimes in Turner syndrome as well. And the third scenario where they can develop is isolated, also called as primary pulmonary lymphangiectasia. That is, they occur only in the lungs, not elsewhere. And when they occur only in the lungs, they occur as a part of a disease process called as Gorham-Stout disease. It's a very important thing, very important disease, and can be asked in MCQ entrance exam. So I'm putting a star here. Gorham-Stout disease is also called as vanishing bone disease. This is a condition which is characterized by chylous effusions in both the thorax as well as abdomen. So chylothorax can develop. Of course, lymphangiectasias will be a part of the thoracic involvement. They will have destructive bony cysts, and they will have lymphangiomas occurring elsewhere in the body. Lymphangiomas is the other manifestation. So these are the areas in which how congenital pulmonary lymphangiectasias can manifest. Now, what are the clinical features? The clinical features will basically depend upon the underlying condition, but they are usually mild in the generalized forms, whereas if they are localized to lungs or if they are a part of pulmonary venous obstruction, they will be severe. So clinical features, they sometimes are asymptomatic or they can be symptomatic. When they are symptomatic, they will be having chylothorax. They may be associated with dyspnea and cyanosis in the child. Dyspnea and cyanosis are more common where there is pulmonary venous obstruction. And they may be involved with other systemic associations if they occur as a part of other systemic malformations. Among investigations, you need to do lymphangiogram and sometimes lung biopsy may also be needed. Treatment is mainly supportive. Supportive therapy comprises three things. First, you need to give oxygen and mechanical ventilation in these children. Second, you need to give diuretics. And third, you need to give nutritional support in the form of medium chain triglyceride or MCT supplementation. Potential MCQ: octreotide has been found to be useful in decreasing chylous effusion in many patients. So this finishes the topic of CPL.